Hey guys, and welcome back to the Behind the Play podcast brought to you by 1IQ Sports. I'm Will, that's DJ. Today we're going over our 5 storylines heading into the 2025 Toronto Blue Jays season. I feel like there's more than 5, but
Yes.
we've narrowed it down to 5. We've left out a very obvious one in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because we figured we could just touch on that beforehand. And then we can go into 5 unique storylines that maybe not everyone's talking about that if you listen to, maybe you'll be like, oh my God. And then you'll listen to it, you'll watch it, and we'll feel smart. Yeah. So obviously, the elephant in the room is Vladdy and his lack of an extension. He is set to basically walk at the end of the year, barring something magical and him signing an extension. Doesn't look great. I mean, it's going to base a lot on his performance this year. Will he be traded at the deadline? Will he stay till the end of the year? Depends on team performance. Apparently he wants, I don't know, well, there's been about 8 different numbers of what he wants. So we've narrowed it down to he wants between $500 million and $600 million. If he sees anything on the latter half closer to $600 million, his pen should be on the paper fucking immediately because that's an insane price for a first baseman soon to be DH. He has only really had one MVP caliber season in the grand scheme of things. So I don't know. I just think it's asking prices a lot. That being said, if the Jays signed him tomorrow to a $500 million, $550 million contract, I would not be sad. Apparently, I don't know. People are saying they're in talks again. That's Hector Gomez and Carlos Baerga, who, well, my left sock has more sources in the MLB than those two have right now. So take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. Feels fishy for Vladdy to set a deadline and Ross Atkins to completely collapse within a month of the negotiations. So I don't know. Just feels weird.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the thing for me, honestly, in this landscape of the MLB, barring any big changes by the league, and if he has a really good year again, I would not be shocked if he gets more than what he's asking, just because of what's transpired with Soto and Soto just griefed the system.
If he gets 600, if he gets over 570, it's like that's nuts. An owner needs to be shot. Well, not an owner, but like
if he finishes top 3 in MVP voting and he's what 25, 26 next year, there's going to be someone
next year.
Oh, wow. Okay, older than I thought. But still, he's still like a premier bat. He's a young enough guy in his prime. I think somewhere like Boston will pay, or like someone that has the money and is just like, fuck you, like the Mets, and he hits open market. I think he's going to get every penny which he asks.
I
Last
think
year,
he's going to be
close.
Sorely disappointed with how free agency works out, because he has to basically, he has to put up a 2021 season. Like he has to hit like Juan Soto. If he doesn't hit like Juan Soto, he doesn't get over $500 million, in my opinion. Well, when you ask to be a top 3 paid player in the league, you need to perform like a top 3 paid player in the league, and he's done that once.
Well, okay, to be fair to him, I think last season, like coming off this season, if he does that on a competitive team, I think that is going to get some eyes. He almost led the league in average, hit over 30 home. No, he hit 30 home runs, and he I don't know.
But 30 home runs with like a premier power bat is like not really the mark anymore. You know, when you look at a guy like, when you think of like the premier power bats, it's Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani. And my benchmark's kind of 40 now. Like if you're not putting up 40, you're not considered a top home run hitter.
Well, I think with Vladdy, obviously had a shitty start last year. And 2, there's not many guys, if any, that are in the league right now that could hit over 320 with 30 home runs. That's the difference. I mean, obviously that's going to be a hard benchmark to hit. I don't expect him to hit 320 every year. And even this year, that's going to be hard to obtain. But if he is batting over 320 with 30 home runs, then there's a difference from a power hitter to like an all around, like offensive threat. And obviously, defense plays a factor, and we've seen him win a Gold Glove once. But other than that, I
I don't know.
haven't really seen much out of him.
When
I
I
don't
look at
see
him,
him
I see a DH in 4 years.
right.
Like I really do.
Yeah,
Um,
especially with his build and stuff.
yeah, like barring a remarkable defensive season, like he's
Hmm.
gonna have to get really nimble. Oh, I'm DJ now. Um,
No.
but he's gonna have to get like a really insane defensive year, I think, to like keep being in defensive conversations. Just because,
Right.
yeah, like when I see like at 32, I mean, like you can stick him at first base, but like if his defense at first base when he's 26, 27 isn't solid, it's gonna get worse at 32.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just kind of over Vladdy talks. Like I really could
Right.
not
Me
care
too.
less anymore. It's the
I'm
same shit every
there's
time. He's either
every
gonna
time
sign
he
an extension, he's not. It doesn't. Like, it's completely out of our control. I don't care anymore. If he wants
everything you
$600 million, then he didn't want to be a Toronto Blue Jay. Is the way I look at it. That's
yeah.
like the
And
full way I look at it.
every time you message me with an update, I literally like look at it for 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, this means nothing to me, especially with the off season we've had. Like just like you don't know what to trust anymore,
Yeah.
especially with the Blue Jays. You know, so I'm just over it. Let's get into more important things. We got top five. Listen, this is not limited to five things. There's a lot of things that need to
Storylines.
go right for this team, obviously, and we're gonna miss a lot. So if you think we missed a lot, leave it in the comments. Don't be hard on us. We're just giving you our opinions and something that just came up in our head and we thought was fun. So,
Throw us your top five storylines outside of Vladdy. Don't be lazy.
oh, I thought we're okay. So we're not going one for one.
Well,
Oh,
we'll
oh,
each give
okay. Sorry,
we'll
you're
each give
talking to
five.
them.
Like we'll each give
Yes,
five.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll start us off.
Hmm.
I like my number one. My storyline is Kevin Gosman.
Hmm.
Last year was a really weird year. He started the year where he probably should have started on the IL, something he's admitted.
Right.
Didn't really turn it around until I think it was August. July was like a serviceable month, but it wasn't Kevin Gosman. August, he turns it around. September, he's like a Cy Young guy. He he went into the offseason with a goal to get more muscle. Supposedly, he's 20 pounds heavier. I don't know if that's all muscle, but he's still like a pretty lean build, but he's got 20 pounds on him. The velo's up. The velo's up. That's huge for him. Getting more swings and misses on that fastball is something that he needs to do, especially if he wants that splitter to be successful. Especially finding a way to
Hmm.
paint that fastball at the bottom of the zone he's going to need to do. And he has a brand new slider. Um, so, like, I think that goes against the righties, I think. So it's just another way to attack hitters. He looks sturdier on the mound. Like, he looks like he's kind of just, he looks like he's planted on the mound. And I think that's going to help him with his load set delivery. I'm excited for him. Some of the talks out of Blue Jays camp is that he might be the best Blue Jay pitcher at the end of the year. And if that's the case, give me Cy Young Kevin Gosman again. I'm all for it. I think he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he was thrilled with the way his year was last year. Obviously, ended on a high note, but he's going to come in firing. I think he's going to want to be like, hey, I'm not washed up yet. Okay, I'm not George Springer yet. We're good to go. And he's going to come in, and I think he'll be the ace. He'll establish himself as the ace. If there is a game one in the playoffs this year, I think Kevin Gosman takes the ball. And he needs to be
Wow.
huge for this Blue Jay rotation. Like when you look at it, it's him and Barrios as like the dogs. Scherzer's
Mhm.
got a sore thumb right now because he's pitching after he throws after he pitches for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Bassett's still a wild card when you look at it. Like, is he going to be unreliable-ish where he was last year? You didn't really know what you were going to get. Or is he going to
Right.
be more like 2023 where he gave you 200 innings? He was a dog. You know,
Mm.
Bowden is like literally Bowden flip a coin. Flip a coin. And that's like, you don't know
Right.
what you're going to get. No one can say with certainty that he's going to be the end of last year like he was, where he's a 3 ERA pitcher. No one can say with certainty he's going to be a 7 ERA pitcher. No one knows.
Right.
And Yariel's the sixth guy in there, and
He's not looking good so far.
we don't like. He's still kind of a mystery. I don't know.
Yeah.
The minor league isn't great. Like Manoah comes back in August, maybe July. Jake Bloss is probably a year away, in my opinion. I don't want to rush him. Trey Savage ain't going to touch the majors this year.
No.
Ricky Tiedemann, I don't even think he's going to pitch this year. So having Gosman be a stable workhorse who can throw 30 games this year is something this team is desperately going to need, especially down the stretch post trade deadline, where it's like if they want to fight for a wild card spot or God forbid they get into a division race here, Kevin Gosman is going to be a major X factor in that rotation.
I think you're right. I think with him, and I've seen this with a lot of guys last year, I think it's hard for somebody so competitive like him to come off like high expectations and have such a down year in terms of like just a club perspective. Nothing was really like, how do you put this?
Nothing was good.
There was no shot. Yeah, there was no shot to make the playoffs. Nothing was competitive. So I felt like sometimes instead of being the gamer he was, he kind of took the like not so serious in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like his control was weird at times. He'd start amazing and then run into one bat and then down the slope he went, and that wasn't Gosman we've seen in the past. And I'll bring it up right now. This was one of my 5. I think it's more than Gosman. I think it's a rotation thing this year. Because at times Barrios was the best pitcher in the league. But then, we've seen spurts where he fell off the wagon too.
Yeah, just finding consistency through a full 162.
Right. So him and Barrios, and then you have Bassett that again, we've seen him be a really good pitcher and very consistent. If he can find his way into the, keeping himself into this rotation, obviously he's a key factor. But if he can pitch to an ERA, mid 3s, and we have those 3 guys pitching to what we know they can do, like that could launch this team into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I would say before you throw your second one out there, maybe unfreeze yourself, Big Daddy.
Yeah, that's gonna keep happening. We're just gonna have to keep. But anyway, no, I think the pitching staff needs to bounce back, and I'm not gonna go into detail, but I think it's pitching in general went from one of our strongest suits to one of our weaker, like type things, and we expected the offense to be bad last year, but pitching was just, I don't know, very lackluster. And if we want to compete, all the guys in that starting rotation need to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to throw your second storyline around?
Well, this was number 1, but this is more of an offensive thing. And one of the most obvious ones coming into the season is Bo needs to be better. We can't just have Vladdy doing his thing alone, and obviously we got some backup this year. But Bo's just got to be himself. He cannot bat 225 again with 4 home runs in 80 games. Go from a premier bat to ball guy that leads the league every year in hits to batting just over 225 is like, it just cannot happen for this team to succeed. Offensively, we've struggled. Last year was like really, really bad. And I think in the first inning, especially, or early in games, when you cannot have your top guys performing and getting you off to a great start like we used to, in past years, it's an uphill battle. Especially, early in the year when our schedule is so difficult in April. We need these guys to be big, and if Bo is not that guy, even give me 270 with some pop, with some home runs, at least 10 home runs in the first 2 months or something. Give us a sign that you're back. Spring has looked really good, I'm not gonna lie. He's hit some home runs that are moonshots, one, and not only that, he is batting over 300. It is spring training, but last year he was looking very awkward at times and honestly not comfortable. So maybe the injury was looming. And again, the injury might play a part. I don't think it will. He looks healthy. He looks good. But for this team to succeed, Bo Bichette needs to be our number two guy. Number three, number two guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument to have Bo lead off even. So, like, he's
Yeah.
kind of, he almost has to hit the ground running, especially with him being in a contract year. If he has a slow April or slow May, it's like,
you're gone. Yeah.
you know, well, I don't even know, like, you're gone, but like, there goes $100 million. You know?
Right.
Like, if it's like, ooh, you know, maybe you're not going to be the most consistent guy throughout the year, you're like, and his defense is a little iffy. So, you know, my second storyline is the fourth outfield battle.
Mhm.
It's a spot that's open. It's a spot that's created a lot more battle than I personally expected, and I just think that's due to my ignorance of learning a bit more about our farm system and like understanding player profiles. I think so. I'll take ignorance on that level. But like I kind of walked into the spring training with like Joey Loperfido had outfield 4 locked down. And we're rolling into a battle now. It's, you know, Alan Roden's in there for that spot. I personally think he should get it. Joey Loperfido's in there, Addison Barger, and then Davis Schneider, who's kind of like emerged himself. Career revival in year 3. So
Yeah.
it's been pretty awesome. It's been a fun battle to watch. Obviously Loperfido, I don't know, I guess Schneider has the experience. Loperfido was the left fielder though last year. I still think Loperfido's got what it takes to be the guy, but I mean,
Right.
when you're front office and you kind of have to look at spring numbers and take them with a bit more than like just a pinch of salt, Loperfido's not been that guy. It's not like he's been bad. It's just he hasn't been the guy. Like, if there's one spot, he's not the guy you're choosing. Alan Roden's been a fucking dog. Dude is hitting over 400, I think. I think he's got
he is.
Either a 1000 or an 1100 OPS. He's hitting righties, he's hitting lefties, he's walking, he's mashing the ball. Like, he's not like poking like a little 60 mile an hour, like little squibbler up the middle. He's hitting missiles to the wall that are like 100 miles an hour off the bat. He's been so much fun to watch. I'm gonna be real, I haven't paid a lot of attention to him in the outfield as defense, but I've seen some okay plays. So like I'd be okay trusting it. I think he can DH too, worst case scenario.
We don't need much.
Like worst case, Springer starts 2 weeks in center field. I do like Addison Barger. I think he's making a good case to be in there. He's hitting the ball hard. He's got 1100 OPS. I think it's 1157. So he's hitting the ball hard, like over 100 miles an hour. His defense is a little spotty. But like, what's he going to be like against everyday MLB pitching? Like, he's still kind of facing minor league guys, which you've seen him rake already. So I'd like to see him go up against, like, obviously not Garrett Cole anymore, but like those type of guys. Like, let him get an AB against like Garrett Crochet or like Hamayoku Sugano. Or like give him like a challenge, like a Shane McClanahan or like a Brian Bayo or like Tanner Houck. Like, give him something else to battle against. I don't know how well he can take lefties, which is going to be an issue if you're the fourth outfielder. And then the last one I have there is Babe Schneider, who's hitting the ball again. In it with authority. He's not looking for singles. He looks like he's looking to drive the baseball again. He's in over 300. Again, spring training, whatever. He hit a home run again today. Played some left field. Can hit lefties and righties. Just kind of same thing with Addison and Loperfido is consistency. Like if you're looking off that, like Alan Roden probably lives on the outside looking in just based off the fact he hasn't played in the MLB. But if you want to roll out the best lineup, I think Alan Roden has to be in there day one. So there's that.
I agree. It's a good problem to have, this battle that we're witnessing, because it's bringing the best out of these guys. I just hope it doesn't
be so good.
I hope it doesn't hit opening day and I secured my spot. They're going to be fighting for that spot. all year. I mean, to have guys in the rotation that you could, bring in and out. Obviously, you want to keep a guy up and like, you don't want people bouncing back and forth. That's pretty difficult. But to have some young guys finally, our farm system has been like not the best, and still from the outside looking in, um, they have to be better this year. I think this actually attaches to my next one,
Yeah.
and it's we need some help from the prospects. We need an X factor bat in this lineup to add more depth. We got Will Wagner, um, Martinez, Alan Roden, Barger. Someone's got to step up and not be like an everyday guy. Like, no, be an everyday guy, but
Mhm.
like take the next step, be a star in the lineup. Because like the farther down you get in our lineup, it's not looking too hot. Especially if you want to make a push to the playoffs. I think it's key that one of these guys not only battles and makes the team, but you know, is a guy that can give us 20 home runs or like get on base consistently enough to where he gets regular playing time and it's not a coin flip on who's playing every day, because that's we don't want that to happen in September where we still don't know who our fourth outfielder is or who's going to start. We want
Mhm.
someone consistently getting at bats and making a big impact like David Schneider did when he came up. We need a guy that adds depth, and you know, I would love some power out of Martinez. If we get like him in the lineup and he's fucking hitting behind Santander and Vladdy, it's like that's kind of chef's kiss. I also like Will Wagner. I've talked about it numerous times on this podcast. His bat to ball hasn't been that great in spring, but he has a toolkit that I really like, and I think he can translate really well to the middle of the order. Because I feel like if you get on in the 7-8 spot, it's going to flip over to the big bats that hopefully are going to have a big year like Bo and Vladdy, and then we get more runs. We can't just have Bo, Vladdy, Santander carrying the load. So I really hope someone pops off and really could get going.
I feel like yours almost runs into my next one.
Oh wow, they're all
And that's Aroldis
connected.
Martinez. Like, to me, he's the X Factor prospect.
Right.
Um, like, I know, like, Arjun Namala's prospect number one, but when you look at guys who are going to make an impact this year,
Yeah. Yeah.
Aroldis is the number one guy. Uh,
Hmm.
like, he's going to battle for a spot. In my opinion, he's got an MLB ready bat. It would have been
Right.
sick if he would have been able to play last year and not have bad nuts. But each to their own. He did get hit today in the hand by Jordan
Oh.
Romano. Good
Oh.
guy turned bad. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Jordan Romano is still a liability for this team a year later. But like, I mean, Omar's got the pop, in my opinion. We've seen it spring. We've seen him hitting guys like MLB pitchers.
Hmm.
Um, he can DH, or we can go a really fun route. And I like almost want to go this route where we say fuck the defense and throw him at third base and
Third
tell him
base.
we're like, just figure it out, man. Good luck. Keep in front of the ball because you're going to hit 20 home runs and you're going to be in
Mhm.
this lineup no matter what. Obviously, he's got a battle with Ernie for the third base spot. Like, Ernie's having a sick spring. But like, I think if you're looking bench wise,
Right.
Elvis Martinez has to find himself in there. You got to think. Um,
Right.
in my opinion, he's the X Factor prospect. But when you look at the bench that this team is going to have this year, going to be fucking sick, man. I mean, like four
Yeah.
spots, you exclude one for whatever fucking special individual we get that's going to be our
It's
backup
backup
catcher this
catcher.
year. Whether it's Heineman or Bethencourt or God fucking knows who else. Um, and so there's that. Then you look like, one of Roden, Loperfido,
Mhm.
Barger.
Miles
probably going to
Straw.
be in there for the outfield spot. Nah, fuck Miles Straw, man. He got picked off at first base yesterday. He loses that, right?
I mean, hey,
He
he's
went to
still
go steal
bad.
second. He faked it, and then he didn't realize that he should get back to first base. He pulled a little league
Listen,
move, so he's going to go play
he
Double-A.
he's still gonna get mentioned because he's
He's going to get
batting
mentioned,
really
but fuck
good right
him.
now.
And then, infield spots, or Elvis Martinez is probably going to factor in there. I think the fact that both Schneider and Barger can, quote unquote, play the infield is going to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Will Wagner is like a bench guy right now. When you look at the grand scheme of things, probably. So, I mean, the bench is going to be sick. So the young guys have to be sick. And I don't know, I just think it's going to be Omar. Not Kmart.
Yeah.
He's got the O for offense.
I mean, there's a reason we both brought him up,
Yeah.
right? He can be that dude, and there's no reason I don't think with the lack of experience already on the back end of this lineup and the lack of depth, not to bring in the guy that can make the biggest difference on paper. Like if you look at someone that can mash home runs and drive in runs, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have some good contact guys, like that have shown spurts, but he's like our number one offensive threat out of that pool of guys.
If he can come in and be an MLB threat power bat, you got arguably 4 power bats now.
Yeah.
You got Santander, you're going to have Vladdy, Bo. Those are your 3 guys that, they can leave yard kind of whenever you want. Right. If you get Omar in there and he can do sort of the same, where he's maybe pushing 15 home runs, 20 if you're lucky and winning the lottery. You're looking at a really good lineup now with 4 mashers. You're looking 2021 Blue Jays again, where it was Springer, Simeon, Vladdy, Bo, Teo were leaving the yard fucking every day.
Right. So that's best case. Yeah.
Yeah. Worst case is he's Justin Turner, and we're completely fucked.
Yeah. That would suck.
I've given 3. How many have you given? 3?
3, yeah.
Do you want me to give my 4th, or do you want to give your 4th?
Hold on, let me just check. I did give that one, and we talked about the pitching staff. Yes, we're 3-3.
I mean, I'll throw my 4th one if you want. I don't. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sticking in the infield. I'm gone a lot of player things. You're going to see a very specific theme, and it's the offense. I've gone Andres Jimenez, which is not who you thought of when I said offense. I can guarantee it. You were thinking, oh, he's going Santander, the fucking loser. No, Andres Jimenez. This dude is going to be playing every day. It's just the way of life.
Guaranteed.
He is the best defensive player in the league right now. He's going to have a 5-WAR season based off the way he can feel the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a 26-year-old kid who fucking shockingly is 26, first of all, who was an all-star in 2022. Had I would say league average year in 23. Some people might disagree.
Offensively.
Had a bad below average offensive year in 2024. If you get him to average, league average, I'm talking 100 WRC plus. He's going to be a 6-7 WAR player this year. He's going to be a huge X factor, especially when you look like Jimenez probably hits lower in the lineup, in my opinion. To me, he probably hits 9th, depending on who wins the 4th outfield spot. If it's, maybe Lo Perfido hits 9th if he makes it, or maybe Schneider's hitting 8th or whatever. So, you're looking Jimenez probably hits 9th. If he can be a league average hitter who can flip the lineup around, I don't know, 35% of the time, your lineup is instantly deeper when you got a guy in the 9 hole where pitcher's shit, I have to get this guy out or we're going back over to the top, and he's not a good, easy guy to get out. The lineup looks so much longer, especially when you look Kevin Kiermaier in 2023, barring not a good offensive year for the Blue Jays, was kind of that force where your pitchers are shit, this guy's just going to be a pest. Kiermaier was sick for the first half of the season. He kind of slowed down as the year went on, but it was he kept turning the lineup over. If Jimenez can be like that, where maybe twice a game he's flipping the lineup over back to Bo with runners on, you've made a pitcher's night way worse. The opposing team is just gonna be like, fuck, not again. He's to me one of the biggest X factors in this lineup. If he can be league average, you're rolling. If he finds a way to be 2022 Andres Gimenez, you robbed Cleveland. You robbed them. Ross Atkins walked in and walked out with your number one thing. Not obviously because like Jose Ramirez, but like you know what I mean. If Gimenez, God forbid, let the Blue Jays fan have a little faith here. God forbid he's 2022 again and he's an all-star. We're looking at like an 8-WAR player right there. Like he's hitting 290 with like 20 home runs, 15 home runs. You're like, holy shit.
I was just thinking, like, you know what I think of when I think of him is like, give me an IKF situation. Like, bring him in and he just finds this bat to ball skill that was missing, turns it around, and give me 290, 280, 270, even 260.
Yeah, I would take 260. I arguably would take the offensive year that he had last year. I'd like a little bit more consistency bat to ball. But like if you told me you were getting like a 250 bat, 27, it was 254 I think last year. If you're telling me that's my number 9 hitter and he's maybe not league average, but he's flipping the lineup over 3 out of every 10 times, he's up there. Yeah, by all means. I'd take that. Genuinely, especially when he's putting up a 4-WAR defensive year. Yeah. He's going to save games just by standing at second base.
Honestly, I agree with you. And this is not one of my topics, but I do want to bring this up. We have the exact same situation in the outfield with Varsho. I mean, if he gives us the same type of numbers we're talking about, there's another guy that could be an easy X factor.
I was going to bring Varsho up as an honorable mention, but let's just bring him up now. If he fucking bangs like he's banging in spring, every time I watch him, he's hit a piss missile to the moon. It's insane. If he does that, let's say he's a 20 homer hitter this year. 20. It's not crazy to say. Like I've seen some people say 30. If he gives me 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, 20 defensive runs saved, fucking throw him in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
He makes your lineup insanely long. He's your 5-hole hitter at that point. I think that's insane. Obviously, he's probably better suited lower down. But if you can get the best defensive outfielder in baseball hitting 20 home runs a year for you.
Look at what he did with...
Dude, he could hit 200. As long as every other hit's going out of the park, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason the rest of the league talks highly about his upside. Like when I hear people talk about the Blue Jays and the X Factor and like who's the biggest surprise and who could pop off, and I've watched multiple videos and they're like, Varsho's a beast. He could easily turn around. Look at how he was with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
like he's a dog, and he still adds so much to this team without the bat. If him and if he could get the bat going even a little bit, by all means.
There's a reason he was targeted for Gabby Moreno and Gurriel Jr.
Yeah.
I hope we see it. He was a dog at the beginning of last year. He couldn't keep it up, obviously. I think he finished just shy of 20 home runs last year.
19, I think.
Yeah, 19 or 18. And he had some injuries he dealt with. So, like, let's say he starts the year, even if it is a week or two later, and he can play. Say he plays 140 games this year. There's nothing stopping him from hitting 20 home runs but himself. And more power to you. Literally. More power to you.
It's good to see X factors like Gimenez and him. There's a lot about this team that could go good and that could go wrong, and that's what's scary. But
let's hope it goes right. The Jays are due for a year where everything just kind of goes their way. So I hope that's this year. Right. Throw your fourth one out there. I don't know if you did. If maybe Varsho was your fourth one.
He wasn't.
Throw your fourth one.
Let me. I'm trying to look because I might have touched on more than I thought. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is. What will this? This is more like a broader thing.
Okay.
Like a very broad topic. What is this team gonna look like after the trade deadline?
Yeah.
Because there's so much up in the air. team performance is most crucial for this, we could see a huge sell or a huge buy. I mean, we've got a lot of free agents this year coming up. Like, I mean, Bassett and even Gosman 2026, he's not locked down for long.
Barrios can opt out too.
Yeah, Barrios. You obviously got the obvious ones, Bo and Vladdy.
Who?
I mean, Bo and Vladdy.
I've never heard of those two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the two, there's no structure to this team right now. And it's so up in the air that, like...
This team could look very different in 12 months.
Very different.
Terribly different.
Like, the deadline could have this team flipped inside out. So it's a very broad thing, but I think the deadline's going to say a lot about the season. If we're doing good, we're going to get more. If we're not doing good, then I don't know. Then you start talking about Bo, probably, and giving up these pieces that are going to walk. Even Chad Green, I think he's a free agent too. Like, there's a lot that could just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be freaking crazy, and it's going to be one of the biggest parts of the year come trade deadline. I just wanted to bring up, like, this team could literally be completely different in the middle of the season. So
yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Was that your last one, or do you have one more?
My last one is. Oh, do you have one more?
Yeah, I have one more. So I don't know if you want to end or if I want to end, because like I have like a honorable mention that I want to throw out there for funsies at the end. So.
Okay, I'll just go in with my next one. I think a huge difference with this team, and I think they focused on it really well this year, is the bullpen. No surprise that we talked about the bullpen. I think you avoided this one on purpose because it was so glaringly obvious.
And I knew you were going to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, one of us had to. But no, the bullpen was the worst in the league last year, let's be honest. Like, last in wins above replacement, and second last in ERA with a 4.82. I didn't think it was that bad.
You get a league average bullpen on that team last year, and they win 80 games. Imagine what they can do with a real offense.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
So, I mean, look at everything we've talked about, and we haven't even touched on this bullpen yet. We bring in guys like Hoffman.
Dog.
We got Garcia.
Dog.
He's back. Nick Sandlin.
Dog.
Eric Swanson, if he's healthy.
Could be a dog.
And then you got Yariel, who could be in the bullpen a lot of the year. So it's like, this is a bullpen that could be, I don't even know, at least top 10 in the league.
Yeah.
If they're all healthy, and could win us a lot of the games that we lost last year, where you're like, it sucks to be a team that's like winning or like barely winning. Let's say, like, with the offensive struggles, there were so many times that we're up 3-2 in the eighth or like 4-3 in the eighth, but then, the bullpen comes in and you're like, well, there goes that game. I mean, to point out the obvious ones, having like how many no-hitters into the eighth or ninth, and then we still can lose a game that no-hitters brought into the eighth or
to be fair, those no-hitters that got brought in easily to the ninth usually resulted in like one run, but one of them required 7 runs because thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, our bullpen was trash, and I think it's going to be like bottom to top, like it's going to be a switch, and if that's the case, if we can have, like you said, even a league average bullpen on this team, it's going to do us wonders. But it's going to be above average.
Yeah, it's going to be a top 10 bullpen in the league.
Yeah.
My last one is a storyline. I don't know. It's not even a player. I'm going to throw that one out there. I didn't even bring a player in here. I'm talking Dave Popkins, the hitting coach.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if it's Hopkins or Popkins, because he wants to bring damage. I'm calling him Popkins no matter what.
Yeah.
He's going to bring the pop. He's a new brain behind the offense. It's not a new look offense, I wouldn't say, lineup-wise, like construction-wise, But like the way I think the lineup's going to approach each game is new look. I think we're going to see a lot more situational awareness, better attacks at the plate. We've kind of already seen that already, like better swing decisions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Guys who maybe didn't have that best of an eye are kind of laying stuff off. Like Santander's walked a lot more in spring than I expected. Same with Jimenez. So like kind of especially seeing how Popkins works with Jimenez is going to be so fun to watch. Or guys like Kirk, Springer. I just looking at Popkins like, how does he change the Jays lineup? If he's as good as they advertise and he can get guys to be the best versions of themselves, could he return the Jays to maybe the glory day, quote unquote, glory days of the offense when it was 2021, 2022, when we were hitting fucking nukes left and right? That'd be sick. If we could have 5 20-homer hitters and 2 30-homer hitters, I don't know if I like really care what the season looks like at the end of the year, as long as the offense is fun to watch. Like low-key. We deserve a fun offense to watch because we haven't had it in 2 years. We deserve it.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just think he's such a like X factor into the season of like how does he communicate with the players, especially because we all thought Matt Hague was going to be the hitting coach and he ended up not being the guy. So I don't know. I just think he's going to be a big thing to watch. So yeah. Then my other one, it's not really a storyline per se. Maybe it is. Looney Dog, Tuesdays. The best night in Toronto Blue Jay season history. You can go in, you get street meat, stadium meat for $1. The over-under I've set this year is 715,500 hot dogs.
Wow.
Last year, the total was 727,000 something. I think 183. I don't know. I like just looked it up because I thought this would be fun. How much stadium meat can Blue Jay fans shove down their throats this year? I think they break 730 if this team's competitive. There's no better way to spend your Tuesday than with random meat in your mouth.
I like that. I like that. I like that it's a staple now.
Yeah,
I hope when we're there, I don't know the days. I don't remember the days.
How many work from dome games do the Blue Jays lose? I say all of them because that's what they basically did last year. That shit needs to be scrapped so quickly. Get rid of it. Whoever created with shot. I want to shot. Public execution, man.
Executed, yeah.
Holy. Let's get fuck work from dome. Let's make Looney Dog Wednesdays as well. Toonie Dog Wednesdays. We'll go back to back. 1, 2.
When's that Boston series that we're going to? I would love to have
it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Tampa's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So we will be there for
I mean, if we want to do just the Boston games, we can do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We can shove Tuesday night meat in our mouth. DJ,
all of Saturday.
We could Lady in the Tramp style our hot dogs together. Sword fight in the outfield.
I'm down. I'm fucking down.
And then the other one, I just want to throw like an X factor. I think a guy who doesn't get enough love.
7 million X factors, but yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not even talking X factor. I'm just like, I think a guy who's doesn't get enough love from the fans, especially the casual fans. That I think is going to be a huge factor into the year is Ryan Yarbrough. Came back. He's on a minor league deal. He's going to get that last spot. He's going to be a second lefty in that bullpen. He knows the AL East very well. He pitched super well in Toronto at the end of the year. He's a guy he's not going to be pitching in the 9th inning, but if you have a bad game and maybe Bassett can't get out of the 3rd inning or something like that, or Barrios has a bad one, or Scherzer goes down hurt. Yarbrough's a guy with Yariel as well that he'll give you 3 innings. If you need a spot start, Yarbrough's kind of a guy that you can go get 3 innings from, and then you can throw Yariel out there for 5 or something like that. I think Yarbrough is not going to get enough love from Blue Jay fans this year, and I just want to throw my appreciation out for him because I know how fucking frustrating it is to watch him on the other side when you're trying to hit him. So being able to cheer for him is one of the most happy, rejoicing feelings in my life, along with being able to cheer for Kevin Kiermaier, which is something I never thought I would have said 2 years ago, but here we are. So, yeah, shout out Ryan Yarbrough. Go Blue Jays.
Yeah, there's a reason they signed him.
Yeah. Also, Dylan Tate. I can't wait for Dylan Tate and Zach Pop to be DFA'd and Dylan Tate to take his spot. Because because
I mean,
fuck Zach
yeah,
Pop.
Zach Pop sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything else you want to throw out there.
No,
Corona
those
rooftop
would be.
patio lovers, like kind of it, you know.
Yeah.
I want to challenge Blue Jay fans to have like a bullpen incident. Let's have some fun. Let's get rowdy. They need to have a student night in like May, where they like pack the like all the uni students right next to the away team bullpen.
Give me
And you're
another
just like,
fight
have
on the
fun,
field.
deal with it.
Give
I
me
think that'd be
another.
sick.
Give me two things that I want that are just random. Give me another fight on the field. Fuck it, like those. And give me
Give me
no Apple
Vladdy
TV
putting a
games.
dent in the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, and then no Apple TV games.
Yeah, fuck Apple TV. Two of those in the first month, 2 months. That's insane. Yeah, I think we've covered it.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty fun.
Over under 30 games Tyler Heineman starts. 30 or 29 and a half, let's say.
Oh my god.
That would be Kirk starting 132 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Tyler Heineman makes it out of June. I think they shoot him. I think they OBLer him.
Yeah,
they're gonna tell him to look at the roses or look at the flowers, and that'll be it. He'll be gone.
Knock on wood, Kirk's just Superman and doesn't get injured.
We need Yasmani Grandal, man. I never thought I would have said that ever.
Seriously.
You know it's bad when you're begging for like a fucking like fossil to come be your backup. Jay's a catching prospect, like Jay Sharp or like fucking whatever the hell those guys' names are in like single. Like, get the hell up here already.
Yeah. No, we need health to be on our side in the catcher position. That's Kirk. Kirk is another X factor. That's huge for us. He's so good.
You know the home plate lady? Do you think she goes to any games this year? Because I don't think I saw her besides the home opening last year. I started to worry, like, what if she's dead? Like, I really like her. I want her to be there. Maybe she's waiting
for a Vladdy extension.
She's like, I will not be paying Rogers until they pay Vladdy.
Yeah, probably not. If she didn't go last year, she might have just died. But no, I just kidding. Hopefully she's good. I think Kirk is a huge deal too. I mean, and that's another thing. He is a savant of the fucking pitch.
Whatever. Yeah, I know he's sick with that.
Oh my god, he's fucking so good.
Do we think we see Kevin Kiermaier sing "O Canada" on Canada Day?
Fuck it.
Low-key, I say yes. I think that put him in a Canadian tuxedo, have a beaver tail in one hand, and have him sing "O Canada." Dude, that place, I'd run through a wall if I saw that.
I would try to run for the first time.
I don't know if I have any more like funny X Factor storyline things that like don't matter.
Things that don't matter. Oh shit.
Over under shoes on fire, like the like fire pranks. I don't think the Jays do any. I don't think they've ever done them. No. So yeah.
Oh, are they gonna bring back the home run jacket?
Oh yeah. Have to.
Okay, over. How many home runs did we hit last year?
We're gonna hit 175 this year.
I got the over.
Okay. I don't know how many we hit last year. Like 200, I feel is like a good benchmark. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I undersold this a bit there.
Yeah, I got the over on that. I think just give us home runs again. Let us be the first.
Under. I can't believe Max Scherzer's a Blue Jay text.
Over under. We'll do that one first. But I also want to do Max Scherzer injury text.
The same one. That's it. I'm running it the same line, 28.5, and I'm putting the over on both. After every start, you'll be like, yeah, Scherzer's a little start. You're like, fuck. And he'll go start like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think. How about Bowden and Francis over under? That
no hitters.
4.8. No, I'm gonna just say 4 ERA.
Huh. 4 ERA.
Over under here.
Slightly over. I'll say 405.
I'll see 388.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Over
guess.
under Bowden Francis no hitter alerts in August.
In August alone, 3. And I
We all
got the
3 starts.
3. Imagine August. He's just him in August. Holy.
Yeah.
He could be that guy. He started the year really bad last year. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
How many the season's over text do we send before June?
Oh, fuck. 30 over. How many
If we
Vladdy's
lose
gonna
opening day to
extend
Zach
by?
Eflin, I'm texting you the season's over right away. Cancel the year.
How many fuck Vladdies over under fucking actually
Every time
before
he
the
gets up,
start of the
man.
season?
It's
Yeah.
like a 75%.
Oh, there's so much
I
pressure
guess
on him.
65%, 65 to
Everyone's gonna
70%.
be like, "You think you're worth 600 mil?"
Dude,
No, actually, I think
why the second he swings at a bad pitch, I'm texting be like, yeah, there goes 100 mil.
I honestly think he's gonna get cheered very loudly.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of the fans, I agree they need to sign him, but especially for the fans that aren't serious, Blue Jay fans that don't look at the numbers and don't care about the tweets and don't, but they're seeing Vladdy walk, it's gonna set off a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm saying like over under Vladdy chance that will take over the arena in the first week.
Please don't leave us.
Yeah, I got
Please
3.
don't leave us.
Or like a fuck Atkins.
Yeah. What else is I have no more.
Drag it on.
I have no
Hey,
more.
we'll just have to see, man. Over under wins in April.
How many games do we play?
I
Are you
don't
talking
know.
like just April, so like excluding the first 2 March series?
No, we can add March in there.
So over under wins at the end of April. How many games do we even play? 4, 5, 7,
4.
10,
Imagine.
14, 17, 20, 23, 26, 29, 31.
Damn, that sounds so good.
We play 31 games.
Okay, over under 22.
Under. Is that 18 or 19, I'd say.
18 or 19 wins.
Low key, like if you're the Blue Jays and you get out and you're like 18 and 13 at the end of April, 19 and 12, fuck.
Yeah, that's a dub.
Hella good start to the year.
I'll take fucking 15.
I wouldn't. 500. The season's over.
That April's mean though.
Over under missed podcasts. Set at 5.5.
How many did we miss last year?
Doesn't matter because we're gonna be so much better.
Listen. If there's a sign,
because we're not missing.
Listen, if there's a sign that we're gonna be more consistent, we have done so many in a row in the off season, in spring training.
We're holding ourselves more accountable. So like, shout out us. Maybe we can do a live not a live podcast, but a together in-person podcast in Toronto before the Boston series and after the Boston series.
Yeah, that would be sick.
So yeah,
that would be
obviously
sick.
it won't be in the Rogers Center. It'll be like sat in like the hotel room. Be like, hey guys, it's One IQ Sports.
Oh my god, and we can do like a series review.
Yeah, doing both.
Yeah. A lot of good things can happen.
A lot of good things can happen.
Maybe I'll be rich by then. We could just stay a night in the Rogers Center.
Yeah, all on you. We can do we'll do a Toronto bar review at the end.
Oh my god. If I'm not dead by then.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, we've run out of stuff to talk about. So run into this.
Great podcast.
Give us your 5 storylines. And we'll catch you all next week for the season predictions. We're going to go over regular season standings, the playoffs, award winners, everything. Be there or be square. You don't want to miss it. #swag. Be sure to subscribe. Bye.